Imagine a crowd of climbers, some rookies and others seasoned pros, causing long waits and risking lives. Lots of people are squeezed together on a narrow ridge, all tied to one rope, trying to reach the very top. Scary stuff, right? Well, Mount Everest is getting crowded day by day, and it is causing terrible accidents and deaths. In 2019, 11 lives have been lost on Everest, the highest number since 2015. The culprit? Altitude sickness is caused by low oxygen at those super high spots. It brings headaches, vomiting, shortness of breath, and confusion, not a pleasant mix. The Nepal Mountaineering Association's boss, Kul Bahadur Gurung, says there are way too many people. Ed Doring, a doctor from Arizona, had always dreamed of conquering Mount Everest. But when he finally made it to the top, he couldn't believe his eyes. Everyone was fighting for space, pushing and shoving just to take selfies. The summit area, about the size of 2 ping-pong tables, was jam-packed with 15 or 20 people. It was a long, icy wait in line, chest to chest with puffy jackets, all on a narrow ridge with a scary drop of thousands of feet. To make matters worse, he had to step around the body of a woman who had just passed away. It was like a zoo, he said, calling from a hotel room in Kathmandu, Nepal, where he was resting. It's not avalanches, blizzards, or fierce winds causing the mess on Everest. No, it's the sheer number of people on the mountain, especially those without a clue. Can you believe it? Nepal has no strict rules about who can climb Everest, and experts say that's like inviting trouble. You need to qualify for an Ironman, but there's no such requirement for the highest mountain on Earth. Something doesn't add up. Quick buck adventure companies are taking on untrained climbers, putting everyone at risk. And Nepal's government, eager for cash, is handing out more permits than Everest can safely handle. Once reserved for the rich and experienced, Everest is now a bustling market open to anyone with a spirit for adventure. Costs have come down, making it tempting for hobbyists to try their luck. They need a doctor's note to say they're fit, but there's no proof they can handle such extreme heights. The mountain's charm is undeniable, attracting thrill seekers from all corners. But Nepal's poor regulations, mismanagement, and corruption add to the chaos. Everest, 29,000 feet high, is crowded and chaotic, like Lord of the Flies. Up there, there's no room for mistakes, and true selflessness is put to the ultimate test. Climbers have only a few hours to reach the summit before they risk a lung-filling nightmare called pulmonary edema. The final climb from Camp 4 to the peak at 29,035 feet is known as the Death Zone. It's a true challenge, not for the faint-hearted. When things get tough up there, it's a race against time. It's so intense that when someone passes away, nobody can spare the energy to bring their body back down from the mountain. Eric Murphy, a seasoned guide from Bellingham, Washington, knows the struggle. On his third climb to Everest, what should have taken 12 hours stretched to 17 hours because of tired climbers who had no guide or support. Climbers face a tough choice: shed every ounce of gear they can, carrying only enough oxygen to survive, and leave their worries behind. But things can get hazy that high, and even an hour's delay can mean life or death. Some get stuck in long lines during the last stretch of the climb, running out of precious oxygen. And guess what? Some weren't even fit for this daring journey in the first place. In 2018, the mountain faced a scandalous plot involving guides, chopper companies, and hospitals scamming millions from insurance companies. They were making a fortune evacuating folks with minor altitude sickness. Climbers are raising a concern about thefts and trash piling up on the majestic peak. But it doesn't stop there. Investigators discovered serious issues with oxygen systems. Leaking, exploding, and shady black market dealings are like a bad action movie. Despite safety worries, the Nepali government decided to hand out a whopping 381 permits, making Everest busier than ever. Climbers are upset as the permit numbers keep rising, leading to super-packed traffic jams up the mountain. Lucas Furtenbach, a guide who knows the scene, shifted his climbers to the Chinese side to escape the chaos in Nepal. He points fingers at the government, saying there's corruption going on and they're just after money. But the officials are denying any blame. They say it's the trekking company's job to ensure safety. Dandaraj Gimairi, from Nepal's Department of Tourism, claims the deaths aren't due to crowds but because of tricky weather. All climbers all racing to the top at once. It's like a crowded highway, and guess what? There's no traffic cop up there to keep things in check. Who's in charge of this mess? Well, the mountaineering companies call the shots, deciding when groups get their shot at the summit. But climbers themselves, no matter if they're experienced or not, get so caught up in their mission that they ignore the risks. In the good old days, Everest was mainly for skilled mountaineers with big pockets. But recently, things have gone haywire. Low-cost operators and pricey foreign companies with questionable safety standards have barged in, offering anyone a shot at the top. Meet Fatima Daryan, a seasoned climber from Lebanon. She had her sights on the summit, but things got dicey. Less experienced climbers were collapsing, and the icy chill of -30°C made things worse. With oxygen running low and around 150 people crammed on the same safety line, it was chaos. People were panicking, only thinking about themselves, Mr. Ryan said. The question of ethics arises. Do you help and risk your own life? It's a tough call. She bravely offered help but realized she had to keep moving or put herself in danger. The summit, 29,029 feet above, awaited. But on her way back down, it was another battle through the crowds. Meanwhile, young Reza from Kashmir was on his own journey. He couldn't believe how uncaring people were when others needed help. He saw some climbers acting like robots, no emotions at all. He asked for water, but nobody cared. It's all about reaching that summit, even if it means risking everything. Reza himself took a risk too. He has a heart condition but kept it hidden from his expedition company. Mr. Doring is an American doctor. He's the complete opposite, on the other end of the spectrum. At the age of 62, he conquered peaks all over the world. As a kid, he dreamt of standing in the highest spot on Earth. He was ready for Everest, training in a high-altitude tent at home, and spending a whopping $70,000 for the experience. But nothing could prepare him for the breathtaking view at the Everest base camp, surrounded by towering peaks. What am I doing here? He wondered. Still, he pushed ahead. Battling cold and exhaustion, he finally reached the summit. But wait, it wasn't all picture perfect. The top was packed with selfie-hungry crowds, making him nervous. He had to sit on the snow to steady himself and snapped a photo with a sign for his mom. On the way back, he came across the harsh reality: sick climbers being helped down by Sherpas and even dead bodies in tents. But he made it back safely and celebrated with a juicy steak and a refreshing Everest lager at the Yak and Yeti Hotel in Kathmandu. The charm of conquering the world's highest peak has drawn more adventurers than ever, but it comes with a heavy price. So safety must take precedence over numbers. The mountain can only handle so much, and we must find a way to strike a balance between fulfilling dreams and ensuring the well-being of climbers. With that said, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.